Should we just start early? I mean, I always get properly impatient when I'm waiting for these streams to start. Because at the end of the day, there's always plenty to talk about. So, you know, we can bring it forward 4 minutes. That's absolutely fine. Let me just bring up the chat. Welcome, everyone. Hello. It's time for another major Assetto Corsa EVO update. But how major? It's, yeah. To be confirmed. We do know some of the stuff that's coming. We know there's going to be 7 new cars, 2 new tracks. We don't know how many layouts within those tracks, but I'm assuming Donington is going to have a Grand Prix and a national layout. We've got Circuit of the Americas with whatever layout variations they decide to add, so we'll have to wait and see. And we also have some other changes to the game, but it doesn't sound at the moment like anything too major, even though it's kind of been billed as a big update, a delayed big update with kind of new foundations being laid for the game going forward. I think there will be new foundations laid for the game going forward, but I don't think the actual improvements that these foundations are going to bring upon us are going to be there yet, if that makes any sense. So yeah, let me know how you're getting on. Welcome to the stream. This update should be going live at 3 o'clock. So we're just going to basically wait for this update to start. We could go and jump on the game, but I think if I jump on the game, it's probably going to happen straight away, and there's going to be no point. I was playing the game for the first time in ages, not very long ago, about half an hour ago, just to try and reacquaint myself, reset the controls, get another feeling again for what it's like, and I actually forgot how much I do enjoy just driving in this game. Like, it is, when you're actually just hot lapping, you're not thinking about anything else, you're not worried about performance issues or AI weirdness or a lack of features. It is just a really fun game to drive. No, Rich. No, 3 o'clock. Terrible timing. Make it a quick meeting or hope that Kunos get delayed. But do remember, you can always catch up with the stream later if you miss it. But yeah, how are you all getting on anyway? I will keep an eye on the chat, and I'll also go over some of the things we're expecting. Obviously, when 3 o'clock drops, or when the update drops at 3 o'clock, I should say, we should get the patch notes, and we can hopefully go over them together and just kind of talk about all the different things that are going to be in this update. Let's see. I'll bring up the article just now. You can, of course, keep up to date with all of the latest Assetto Corsa EVO news. I keep going... It doesn't matter whether I say EVO or EVO. Everyone normal is going to say EVO, from the UK especially. But I've been told by the developers and the company, EVO is the correct one. So I will forever be saying EVO and EVO interchangeably. But it really doesn't matter, does it? How you pronounce a game name. It does not matter one bit. Oh, Restart Steam, the update's out apparently. Thank you for that. Let's do it. Let's see if I can get this update going. I realised I literally just jumped straight into this. Barely said hello. Barely said what I was doing. My name's John. Hi. If you're new to the Traction channel, welcome. I like racing cars. Driving around circuits in real life and in sim racing titles. That's basically all you need to know. What are you guys excited for with this update, though? For me, obviously the fundamentals. I want to see what the actual changes are that we don't yet know about, as opposed to just the expected changes. But I also, there's a couple of cars that particularly interest me. Quite a lot of it is repurposed stuff from, that's the update now coming through. Nice one. Thank you for that. Who was it? Stranger Craig. Thank you so much, Stranger Craig. Yeah, there's a couple of specific cars I'm very interested in. So the Maserati GT2, beautiful piece of kit. I am very excited about that, but obviously bear in mind it was a car that was in ACC, so it's not brand new to the Assetto Corsa franchise. Obviously a lot of you are excited, so Tabs is excited for improved VR, and there's also improved triple screen support, whatever that means. Triple screen or VR. We don't know what the specifics of those improvements are, but we know they're being improved, so can't really complain too much about that. Hey, Samo. Thank you. Welcome. Hey, Abel Ferreira. Apparently, it's reserving space on only 1%. I do have very fast internet, so this should happen fairly quickly. So let's just hope it get to move on very soon. Yes. Updates. I'm excited about the Maserati. We'll start with the cars. Let's start by talking about the cars. Here they are. If you guys can see that. We can maybe zoom in a little further. So the Maserati GT2. So that'll go alongside the existing Mercedes GT2, which is already in the game. We have the Lotus Exige V6 Cup, which again, really cool car. Very, very cool, exciting car. Looking forward to driving it. I think it'll be similar to some of the sportier cars in the game already. But it was already an Assetto Corsa. So it's a car that we've had before. It's exciting, but not, you know, massively game-changing. Same goes for the Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GTA, another car we've already had in the original Assetto Corsa. Then we have something new, the Alfa Romeo 75 Turbo Evoluzione. And that is an interesting one, because that's basically just like the Mercedes 190e, the BMW M3, the Ford Sierra RS500. It's sort of a, not a homologation special, but I guess it was a road, it is a kind of a homologation special. A road car that was developed, or an evolution version developed of an existing car specifically for Group A touring car racing. So the Alfa Romeo 75 Turbo Evo is a 1987 variant of the Alfa Romeo 75. And it's more powerful, it's got stiffer springs, it's more race-focused, 175 brake horsepower, and that was the basis of the car that would then be used for the World Touring Car regulations when they changed to Group A in 1987, I think. So that's a really exciting one. I'm keen to drive that. It's going to be a bit like those other rear-wheel drive sports cars that we associate with those early 90s touring car days. So very, very exciting. We also have the NA, so the Mark I Mazda MX5. So that car, again, is in Assetto Corsa, the original, but it's a really fun car to check about. I've driven many Mark I Mazda MX-5s. I've raced a few of them in my time, and they're huge amounts of fun, but it's obviously very low in power, so it's going to be fun around the smaller circuits. So there's only so much excitement, I think, with that, considering there's already a racing Mazda. And then we also have the Porsche 911 Turbo 3.6, so it's the 964 Porsche, so that's the 1993 Porsche 911. That's going to be a handful. 360-ish horsepower, obviously a turbo, so it'll be interesting to see if there's any turbo lag. It's going to sound great, I hope, and it's going to be really fun to drive. Classic Porsches are always that way. And then you have, of course, the Honda NSX-R as well, which is, for me, the most exciting car in this whole pack, I think. It is, of course, the car, and I've actually, I'm going to bring it up here in a second. That Honda NSX-R is the sporty version of the NSX, which is already obviously a sports car, that was developed in 1992, and it was worked on by a certain Ayrton Senna, who famously wrestled that car around Suzuka East Course, or West Course, whichever one it is that doesn't include the S's. And it's an amazing video on YouTube. So I'm very much excited to try that, and I'll drive it on the Senna circuit. We'll do the video. But what I've actually got up here in preparation is this. Look, it's Senna driving the NSX, so we can watch it for a lap while I'm updating, and then we can try it ourselves. Hang on a second. Do we have... let's see how the game's getting on. Got too many buttons here. Okay, we're patching. 46% complete. Excellent. Right. We're gonna get the sound on, and I'm gonna show you this Senna video. Kill the music. There we go. Because we're now gonna be able to drive this very combo that I'm about to show you. Let's just make sure we get the sound on. Oh, not too loud. That is exciting because we're going to give it a try very, very soon. Let me just bin off that. What else is coming in the update, though? Sorry, Sandalo Gaming, don't forget to put the moccasins on. I am so sorry, I do not get the reference. Is that a certain... What do you mean is that the shoes? Because I'm thinking Senna's loafers were peak Ayrton Senna culture back in that time. Yeah, I was right. Good guess. I'm not cultured when it comes to fashion, I'm afraid. We do, we've talked about the cars. There are more cars coming as well in future that are not coming today. So we've got like this F1 style single seater, which has been teased. You've got the McMurtry Spearling, which is going to be incredible. I'm really excited to drive that, but we don't have that yet. But yeah, so it's just those 7 cars to come for now. Other headlines, 2 new tracks, which we've talked about already. So we've got Circuit of the Americas, home of the Texan Grand Prix, of course. And we have Donington Park. I love Donington Park. It's great. I love both variations. Prefer the national layout without the Melbourne hairpin. But, again, 2 tracks that are already in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So, there's only so much we can say that in terms of new and exciting, because it's tracks that we've driven on many sims before. I hate Circuit of the Americas. Love Donington. You guys would know that if you'll know that if you've ever had to suffer the pain of watching me complain about Circuit of the Americas before. And I always get very happy when I'm driving Donington. So we'll see how that goes. And as I say, we'll see what layouts are actually there when this is released. Now, do we have? Oh, we can play. We can play. Keep an eye out for the patch notes as well, guys. If you see, update the DLSS driver with the swapper. I'm actually not sure, Andrea, what you mean. Hopefully it just works, but we'll see. If you guys see the patch notes appear, they might actually be on the website. Do give me a shout, because I would like to go through them with you. And I'll obviously be launching the game. So we'll just get it fired up, and then we'll bring you the footage. I think we should go NSX first at Suzuka just for fun, and then worry about the rest of it. Oh, yeah, you mean in the in-game graphic settings? Ah, okay. Patch notes out on Steam, or are they on the website? Let's see. Let me refresh the Steam page. Oh, on the updated roadmap. Excellent. Here we go. Release to 0.2 is out. Now, here we go. Right, I've got the patch notes. Let me bring it up for you guys before we get stuck into the driving. So we've got the circuit. So we've got GP and national layouts of Circuit of the Americas and Donington. So expected that with Donington. Expected a variation on Circuit of the Americas, so no complaints there. You've got the cars. Great. The gameplay's been altered so that players have a choice to play in career or open mode. That's something we knew about as well. So basically, we'll talk about that when we go into the game, but it's nothing much right now. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, we knew about some of this stuff. So in open mode, the dealership will be an open source of cars for customizing and adding them. So basically, you can do whatever you want. Whereas the career mode, you've got your currency, you've got your driver academy and all that. But we'll have a look in a minute. We do have some physics updates. So we've got gearbox damage. We've got some fixes and tweaks there. Setup tweaks. Work on dynamic track physics, graphics, relation, and updates. Okay. Nothing huge in the physics. I'm not seeing like general physics overhaul or improvements, but the physics were honestly not too bad at all. I was a big fan of the physics anyway. Although with race cars, less of a fan, but road cars specifically, big fan. Lots of UI updates there, which I'm not going to spend 20 minutes going through because you guys can see it for yourselves and you can have a pause. You can obviously check this out on Steam, and I'm sure we'll have an article very, very soon on the TraxionGG website with the patch notes as well. But lots of UI changes. That's fine. Gameplay, you've got the modes, we've got special events. We know there's new special events. What else we got? Changed track limits. Yeah, nothing. No, I mean, I'm not seeing anything jumping out at me that's hugely game-changing there, but that's fine. Yes, so that's one thing, Andrea. The career mode stuff now is going to be separate from the open mode, and the only stuff that's going to involve online is special events and multiplayer. That's the only stuff you're going to need an internet connection for, so that's good. One bit of bad news I have for you guys, though, if you've been playing a lot of AC Evo, is that I'm led to believe the progress so far is going to be wiped with this update, but that shouldn't happen in future updates. But I do believe if you've been someone who is working on progressing through this game, buying all the cars, doing all that, then bad news, I think it might be gone, but we'll see. Graphic enhancements, there you go. So you've got visual updates, dash displays, all sorts of stuff. Switching to VR triples no longer disables DLSS, that's good. Yeah, so plenty of little graphics changes there. Fuji visual updates, Brands Hatch visual updates, so and general stuff. Return to all current weather settings for all tracks, less foggy overall look, better horizons and dawns. All right, so improvements, cool. That's kind of normal stuff. VR, so you've got a VR TV camera set, you've got enhanced reflections, DLSS, so improved VR, improved triple rendering. You can see all this for yourself. As I say, I'm not going to go into it too deep. But graphics fixes, audio fixes. So, yeah, Nothing's jumping out at me as being enormous, but I'm not. But to be honest, in this game, the only thing that is enormous for me at this stage is obviously performance improvements for those who are really struggling with it, and also like game mode additions and stuff like that, right? And changes. I'm seeing graphics optimization there, so that should hopefully be doing something to help performance, but I'm not seeing any more specific performance issues other than graphic optimizations, which I guess kind of counts, right? So yeah. Hey, we'll see what happens. Here we go. So they've actually updated the roadmap in the game. Yeah, the open mode, unfortunately not, Nico, not yet. We do not, as far as I'm aware, have any open world stuff yet. Open mode is more like a sandbox thing where you can basically buy all the different cars, customize all the different cars. You don't need to make money and earn currency to buy them. So it's basically for those who don't want that kind of progression-based experience. So yeah, here we go. You're here, second stage of early access. And it's now updated to say 7 new cars, because that obviously has changed. So, excellent. Oh, right, new driver. So I think basically we're getting a full reset here. I might need to like redo controls and everything. Let's see. How old am I? I don't know. 28 or 27, I can't remember. Always free. I think I'm 27. Is Scotland here? No. United Kingdom. It is. Would help if I actually. It's probably right at the top, isn't it? I think we've done this before. No, it's there. Cool. I think I'm 27. I can't remember. I can never remember. Let's do that. Okay, here you are. So, new modes. Career mode and open mode. Now, let me just hang on a second. We'll get rid of that little Discord thing. This should work in a second. Here we go. Try that again. Open mode and career mode. This is now what happens when you launch the game, and you're probably wondering, if you've not read up on it, what are the differences? Well, at the moment, essentially nothing. Career mode just takes you down the route of driver licenses, finances, leveling system, all that kind of stuff. This is just the usual driver license things that didn't really change. You can unlock vehicle groups, rent cars, buy cars, all the stuff that was already there, and you earn credits and rank up, and then you can buy more cars. And obviously this is going to be great when career mode actually launches, but we don't have a proper career mode in there yet. So right now, it honestly barely does anything at all. It just sets the foundations for those modes going forward. So here we have to purchase our first car. Can we afford an NSX? No, but we can afford an S2000. We've been through this before. We'll buy the Escort for 60. Yes, please. I don't want to waste my time doing this right now, so let's just purchase. This is not what we... I mean, this is obviously part of the update, but also it's exactly the same as it was, so there's not really much to see here that's new. So then when you're in this career mode, when you click drive, we've got special events and single player. We have obviously currency at the top. You've got a driver ID, a name, a level. You've got the dealership obviously with the normal costs. So we'll have a look at all of the new cars once we get into this a little bit more. So the Exige there for 80,000 credits, for instance. And then I can't afford to buy that because I've just spent all my money on a Ford Escort. So that's that. You've also got the Academy, so you've got the licenses in there. And obviously we've just created a profile and everything. So that's that. Whereas now we've got a mode... You guys can't see this, hang on. Let me change that. There's a mode selection button now at the bottom left. By the way, I live in Glasgow now, but I am originally from the east coast of the Highlands. So very high up on the east coast. Not sure how north or south you are. So mode selection, bottom left, just takes us to this screen. In open mode, you have instant access to all vehicles. In this mode, there are no XPs, virtual credits, or progress tracking to face. Yeah, I'm afraid so, Enzo Racer. There's been a progress wipe, so... Goodbye, all of that hard work. Goodbye, all those gold licenses. I'll be honest, I don't care about it that much, because this game doesn't have enough for me to actually engage me in any way other than the odd lap here and there. So I'm very much want a progress wipe once this game is complete, or I'll restart my profile or whatever, and actually, because I want to play the authentic game through from the start when it launches. Open mode, as you can see, we go in here, and when we click drive, you can still get to special events, but vehicle-wise, I'm pretty sure you can just buy any vehicle. So yeah, Lotus Exige V6 Cup, there's no currency attached. Click on it. You can buy one of these, motorsport upgrade, whatever it is you want to do, and it's free. So it's very much more of like a sandbox experience. You don't need to worry about progress. You can just go and do what you want. And there's no currency, no level. You can see at the top right. Yeah, simplified, basic, original Assetto Corsa experience almost. And that's it. So we'll probably play around in open mode today because we're going to try out the new stuff. And I don't have to buy it all. Hey Jay, how's it going? Right, I've chatted. I always chat too much. Sorry, let's get on with it. I am going to buy the Honda because we're going to go straight into testing some of this new content. And we're going to start with the NSX-R in Suzuka for Ayrton Senna's sake. And then do a few laps of that. We've obviously got a lot of cars. We've got new tracks, so we're going to go visit these things. We're going to try the AI, see if there are any changes there, but I didn't see any in the log. Look at that. Look at that. What options do we have here for the NSX-R? Change the body color, but it's going to have to be championship white. And you can do custom colors, of course. Interior wise, carbon fiber console trim. Let's get rid of that. And then wheels. You've got the 16, 17 inches. Oh, that's the one. That's what you need. I can't remember how to actually move this camera, I'm afraid. There, that's what we want. So we're going to buy that, or apply that, sorry. You can change the color as well. White and polished. We're going to go white. Let's drive this thing around Suzuka and see how it feels. I'm excited because this is, as I say, my favorite part of Assetto Corsa. Hang on. I would like my Honda, please. Oh, I didn't buy it. Excellent. Let's try that again. You guys excited to try this? How are you getting on today? Hey, Paul. How's it going? Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to actually click the right buttons this time. Right. Big wheels, please. We'll not go carbon fiber. We're sticking with the original body color. Apply. Now, how do we buy it? I think we go back. And then we add to garage. There it is. Okay. Using a trackpad, which is why I'm scrolling all over the place. Let's do a practice session. We've got Suzuka West already selected. And I've not got a clutch, so I can't do my Senna heel toe, but I do have an H-pattern gear shifter, so we'll do auto clutch with H-pattern for authenticity. Let's go. Yeah, oh, I'm so sorry about your money, yeah. If you've been, you know, playing this game a lot more than others, if you've been saving up your cash, chuck it in the bin, it's all gone. Goodbye. Hopefully you had fun doing it. I do genuinely feel for you, though. All right. Shall I stop chatting and start driving? How are we doing for FOV? I think, does it default to 60? No, 56 that'll do. The interior looks quite soft on the inside. I am wearing gloves because I've got my Alcantara wheel and my soft, sensitive skin will not survive, even with gloves. Okay. Vintage tires. Let's listen to this engine. Yep. Sounds pretty good. Not going to complain about that. Now, let's also turn down traction control, so it's off, and turn off ABS. There we go. And it's default setup for everything else. Okay, so new car, not a new track, but... Oh, it locks up very easily. But let's have some fun. Okay, it's drifting very easily on vintage tires. You can hear every time I touch the brakes, it's just screeching away. Okay, very, very easy to lock up, like insanely easy. Look at the, if you look at my brake pressure on the bottom right when I hit the brake pedal. Let's see how easy it locks up, so, there. So I'm saying anything above like maybe 30% brake pressure, instant lockup. That feels a little too sensitive, I'll be honest. especially with default settings, so it's not like I've done that with the setup. But it sounds great. If the locking up gets too annoying, I will throw on ABS just because I don't want to be thinking about that and nothing else, you know? Wallowing into the corner, use the throttle to turn the car, and it drifts so easily. Look at that. I like the touch that they've done with the tyres, though. That's cool. No complaints about that. HUD still slow, and yeah, the FPS is still pretty low. Too much understeer, chucked it in too aggressively. Too used to modern tyres, right? So easy to lock up. Let's try ABS 1 just for now, so I can actually try and enjoy the other parts and stop complaining about the locking up being so sensitive. Definitely trying to carry a little bit too much speed into some of the faster corners as well. But yeah, this, as I always say, and you've heard me say this in the past if you've watched previous AC Evo streams, but AC Evo at its best is hauling a road car around a track like this, turning down the assists and just having fun with the throttle. That is AC Evo, absolutely firing all cylinders. We'll try and actually set some sort of representative lap, and then we'll jump into some other new stuff. But the sound is good. So far the handling is good on the old tyres. You have to treat it with respect. You can't push too hard. Only downside I'd say at this moment is it feels a little too easy to lock up with ABS off. But I've never driven a 1990 Honda or a 1992 Honda NSX-R, so of course I'm being presumptuous there. You can flat shift it as well. I don't need to lift to change gear, which is interesting. I do on other cars. Let's try and get some sort of lap time in. Enjoying it. Tires are hot, some of them, the rears. You have to treat this car with respect. I like that. It's a proper, and I know people maybe overuse this phrase, but it's like a driver's car where it feels like it should feel, but if you go and treat it too aggressively, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna give you lap time. It's just gonna throw you off. Like it does have a lot of understeer and oversteer because the overall grip level is not hugely high, but mechanically it just feels sound. It feels so well set up, and it's kind of at the moment in this of okay, yeah, I've done 2 laps, but it's kind of feeling like how I would expect a driver-focused NSX-R based on its reputation to feel, and it's just really, really rewarding. And I'm gonna go too early, but it's one of my favorite cars in this game straight away. Like up there. I did love the new Lambo last time, and I did not expect to. This I expected to love, and I do love it. Just use the throttle, okay. Whoa. It's fine. I want to try something else anyway. There's the NSX for you. Let's see what else we've got then. Should we try one of the new tracks? Let's have a look at Donington. We'll go with the happy stuff before we make me cry. Hey, Nathan's back. Don't worry, Nathan. I just need to stop the car as efficiently as possible to move on with our lives. Let's go Donington Park National first, and we've got the GP layout as well, so we'll try that later. Donington Park National. Now, what new car are we going to pick here? Bear in mind, you've got the Alfa Romeo 75 Turbo. That could be perfect. So you're basically a late 80s road-going homologation of a Group A car. Excellent. Delicious. Alfa Romeo Giulia Sprint GTA will definitely suit a small track as well, so that would be ideal. I'll just show you the other options while we're here. We have the Exige V6 Cup. Maybe go for that around the Grand Prix layout. Maserati GT2. That's your race car. Obviously the Mark 1 MX5 is going to feel sluggish everywhere, other than the really tight and twisty stuff, but it's a great car. And then I'm excited to drive the 911 as well. Oh, we've got Alfa. Right, Andrea's called for the Alfa. We're going to do it. Well done, Andrea. Your timing was perfect. Which Alfa, though? The 75 Turbo or the Giulia Sprint GTA? 175 horsepower, vintage. I mean, that's essentially, it's like a vintage sports car, right? Vintage GT car in road form, or a kind of road-going homologation touring car from the 80s. Oofed. Also, performance-wise, guys, it's difficult for me to test because my performance when I'm driving on my own, 75, yeah, let's do it. When I'm driving on my own, I never have issues with FPS. It's when I have the AI on, and I'm running medium graphics, so we will test it with the AI and see as a comparison. But obviously, I can't test everyone's different scenarios. So what configurations have we got here? Standard. Is that all we've got? So, standard. Can I adjust it? Standard trim, 75 turbo. I'm not seeing any customization option, unless I'm missing something. Please tell me. Victor, I'm really sorry. I don't think you're gonna get your I don't think you're gonna get your progression back. I think that's it. Honestly, I think this. But apparently, in future updates, this is not gonna happen. But for this update, we were told we were gonna lose progression, unfortunately. So yeah, you're gonna have to get 3 stars again. Hey, you'll be ready for it. We're gonna race the Giulia later. Good shout, Andrea. But we're gonna drive the 75 first. Not seeing any customization options, so let's just add that to the garage. I mean, this car is already like properly, you know, customized and everything. Here are customization options: body color, wheels. That's it. Nothing too exciting to see. I'm happy about that because this car is special in its own right. Doesn't need extra modifications. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nathan. Yeah, losing progression. This is it. Like, the problem being, with early access games being so common nowadays, unfortunately, like, all of the excitement of this game, playing through it for the first time, making progression, starting in slow cars, ending in fast cars, you lose a lot of that magic by having this game in early access, because we can already drive everything, and then, obviously, they're slowly adding in features. By the time they actually add career mode or open world properly, we're already going to have lost some of that, like, first impression magic, and that's a bit of a shame. Because I think with games like this, a lot of the excitement comes from not really knowing what to expect and also experiencing faster cars for the first time live at the moment. So with AC Evo, we're not going to really get that. Anyway. Oh, VR performance is worse, I'm hearing. Is that someone who's tried it already in VR? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing that in this stream. I'm going to be focused on other stuff. But that's not a good sound. It should be getting better, of course. But, ooh. Right. So, Alfa Romeo 75. You're absolutely right, Andrea. This is like the this is the spiritual 155, the spiritual father of the 155, right? And this car you do have to lift when you change with the H pattern without a clutch, so that's good to know. Only 175 horsepower, so it's not as powerful as the NSX. It's got a turbo. Sounds meaty, kind of what you'd expect from the engine as well. And then, of course, Donington's. I mean, I'm so familiar with this track, real life and in games, so it's kind of like I jump in it and it just feels like instantly, obviously, completely familiar. Looks good. I've never had an issue with any of the tracks on Assetto Corsa Competizione or Assetto Corsa EVO. But curbs and stuff are looking great, colours are looking good. I mean, it's what do you expect from a game like this nowadays when they're releasing laser scan tracks, especially one that's obviously they've already released in the past. Let you hear the Alfa for a bit. Nope. Would help if I yeah, you have to really hold off the gear shift for a long time. Hold off the throttle, sorry. So when you're running, so interestingly, when you run auto clutch in this game and you're not using a clutch pedal and you use an H pattern car, depending on what car it is, adjusts how long you have to lift off the throttle. So that's too short. That's too short. No? No gears? Hello? It's being an Alfa Romeo. The gearbox is broken. I mean, they've nailed the realism. I need a tow. They did say something about an updated gearbox thing where it was like damage to the gearbox was real, but obviously I'm pretty sure I'm using auto clutch, so even though I'm using an H pattern shifter, I should theoretically be protected. Interesting. Let me just check something. Let me just check the assist settings. Of course it happens in an Alfa Romeo, though. Yeah, look. Automatic throttle blip. Should we go turn that on? Auto clutch is on. I mean, let's try that. I don't know if the gearbox literally just broke one lap in, but not a great sign. I'm glad you guys also see how accurate that is, right? I did one lap though. Well, did I do one lap? I did one out lap. Crossed the line once. So we got our money's worth. Right, let's try that again. So we've now got, so you can see that the clutch, the blue bar on the right hand side there when I was going was working. Yeah, so you have to lift. So maybe I did too many bad shifts. Downshift should be okay. I blip the throttle manually myself on downshifts anyway, that's just natural. Right, let's try that again. Obviously not the fastest car in the game. So, oh, the gear shift's a bit quicker now. So I think I did just ruin the gearbox. 5 gears, have we got 6 gears? No. 5 gears. Right, treat it with respect, John. It doesn't sound great, but it sounds, I feel, exactly like this car should sound based on what I've seen before and heard before, if that makes sense. So that's absolutely fine. I'm much happier with accurate sounds, and then some cars sound better than others, because that's exactly how it should be. But you've got some of those beautiful noises, like you've got a little bit of the crackle there, you've got the turbo, you can hear the hiss. Yeah, kicking in around about 4,500. Yeah, like it. Like it. Okay, how are we looking for curbs? So you've got no sausage curbs at Donington, which I think is something that they've actually implemented, and obviously they've got tyre bundles there for like touring cars and stuff. We'll ignore the track limits. We'll do another lap and then we'll switch it up. Vintage tyres, of course, in this as well, being a 1987 model. Oh yeah, bit of a lock up there. Brake too late. But the pitch is there. It's actually reminded me a little bit of the Delta Integrale that we tested last time, the most recent update as well, which feels about right. Same era. Oh, sports kind of, you know, homologation race car, different type of race car, but also Group A. So this, I reckon this in a race with the Lancia would be great fun. Interesting, so I'm seeing a comment from Legacy. Why is nobody saying how much of a massive downgrade the graphics are compared to the original AC? I mean, original AC with all the shaders, patches and everything, all the work done on that can look really good, but I honestly, from a starting point, from early access, I don't see this personally as a massive downgrade, but everyone's going to feel differently about that. And I'm absolutely happy to be totally wrong on that, and if I was to maybe go and play Assetto Corsa and turn on all the shaders and do everything really good, it might actually look much better, but my experience, honestly, is that this looks absolutely fine. I don't really have much of an issue with the graphics. It's quite soft, but I don't know. It's okay on my eye, and this is on medium as well, just for FPS purposes when I'm racing against AI. Okay. Feels good in the chicane when you get it down to the right speed. This is a car that's going to reward like patience, it's going to reward careful driving, good technique, not over driving, all the kind of stuff, to be honest, that touring car drivers need to kind of show. Slightly missed the apex again. We'll do one more little run here. Track limits. Curbs are looking good, feeling good. Draw distance is great. I can see all the way up the hill like you can in real life now that the Mansell's Bridge is gone. Oh no, too much commitment through the red gate sweepers, as I'm going to call them. Craner curves is obviously very different in a road car to a race car, and when you drive it so often in a race car, you need to like really mentally adjust. Same with all of these corners. McLaren's all feels, I mean, this feels very realistic compared to racing at Donington. It feels super familiar. Everything feels natural. The curbs, the visibility, the positioning of the car, it's great. No problem. Yes! Ross and Dan are here. Thank you. Had to get out of the way. Right. Let's yeah, let's bin that off. We've done a few laps. We've got so much to get through. We see what we see. Red gate everywhere. Right. Let's get rid of the Alpha. I mean, like it. It serves its purpose. It will fill a space in this game. It will race against certain types of cars. It will be rewarding. I think an online race in those cars would be great fun. As a hot lapping machine, not quite powerful enough to give me a huge smile like the NSX. Different sort of thing. Should we try a race? I've had to get used to many different shifter positions in real life as well. Everything's mirrored. This is the Giulia. So we've got standard design 1, design 2. That's it's like a race car, numbers and colors. Can we actually? So we can't customize it from there, but if I add that to the garage, we should be able to customize it. But I think the fact that it didn't let us customize it in the showroom means that all we can do is really paint it and stuff. So body color, yeah, 1 OEM. So you can't adjust. You can obviously paint the car afterwards. Brown. Not even brown. What is that? Let's not do that. No, go away. Can't even look at that. Wheels, you can... Oh, you've got 15-inch sprints, so you can change some stuff. 15 inches instead of 14. Yeah, why not? And auxiliary headlights. Ooh! Yes! Rally spec. Look at that. I get way too excited. Oh, you think it... Yeah. That's totally fair, Legacy. That you're right, it's subjective, so you're absolutely well within your opinion to think it looks better or worse. I just personally don't think it looks bad. Do you think... Ah, right, yeah, I mean, originally AC with a shaders pack, yeah. To be fair, that is what I'm aware. That's what I'm familiar with AC, and I think it looks good with the shaders pack. It makes a big difference. But I don't have a problem with this either. I don't mind either of them. For me, it's not the important thing, and it's good enough in my opinion. But it is slightly soft, so that's an opinion thing as well. Right, let's do a race then with the Giulia Sprint. I also before we do this race, there are new special events. So let's just have a look. Now I tried to look earlier today at the existing special events. Hang on a minute. And it wouldn't load in online mode. I had to go into offline mode. So let me just see if it loads up in career mode. So I've just switched to career mode. Let's see if special events now appear. Not great. If anyone's played this game yet since the update, let me know if you saw any special events. I am not getting anything up here today. I didn't get anything earlier as well. So yeah. Yeah, Modi's right about original AC with no shaders, patches and stuff. It has aged significantly. But obviously lots of people play with the shaders patch and stuff. It depends also if you're a console too. That makes a big difference. Because obviously you don't get the mods and stuff. Right, so special events, nothing. Yeah, you're right. Ross is absolutely on it in terms of my opinion as well. I think it does look a little Forza Motorsport-y, which I always said was very soft. It's less soft than Forza Motorsport, but it's that sort of aura. Anyway, bin off special events. We can't talk about them because we don't know what there are. Excellent. Okay, let's try a race then. And we can do a custom grid now since this update. Let's see how that works. So if we do we'll do Donington GP in the Giulia. We'll do 3 laps. Don't mind starting at 5:30. We'll start from 16th position. Custom grid. Here we go. Edit grid. So this is new. So now we can customize a grid with different opponents. So we'll do like 15 opponents. Opponent's skill, hopefully that's now fixed to no longer lock at 94%. Let's just try like 92 to 100. See what happens. Single make off. So you've got, look at this. You've got performance range. Now this is great. This is fantastic. So we can obviously have a single make race here with just Alfa Romeo Giulias. Or we can select vehicle types, and I think you can highlight as many as you want. So we can just highlight like everything. ICE, so internal combustion engine, electric or hybrid. We can select and deselect any of these, which I love. And then you've got a performance range. So this car is a 9.6, and we can basically set a range for performance anywhere from 8 to 22. So let's just go, it's 9.6, so let's see what it brings up. If we do 9 to 10, see what cars are actually in that window. Don't know how many there'll be. Generate the grid. We can't change opponent behavior yet. Let's see what it brings. So, Giulia, MX5 Mark 1, Giulia. So basically, MX5s and Giulias by the looks of it. So that's what we're looking at. You've got a skill percentage, and look, 100%, 99, 98, 95, and you can check what their name are, or what their name is. So this is really cool. So you can actually go, right, Elena Seidel on pole position is the highest skill. So she is going to be the one I need to, like, she's my big rival, or she's the one I need to beat. That works really, really well. I love that you can see the specific name. Can we see more of the grid? Yes, we can. John Anderson. Any other cars? It's just these two, I think, in that range. So that's absolutely fine. So it's MX5 versus Alfa Romeo Giulia. And then I am... Where am I? That's all just the opponents. Okay, perfect. So, generate grid. We've done that. So we click apply now, I guess. Okay. And then back. And now I can set my grid position, presumably. Yes. So I can go 16th. Excellent. Right, we'll go 12. And we'll see what happens. See if the AI range is fixed with the percentage. That's, in terms of custom grids in racing games, it's not perfect because it didn't let me specifically, I think, select, although let me just check that. It didn't let me specifically select a car. It just let me generate a grid based on parameters. I might be wrong, but so far I don't see any way of actually selecting specific cars. You can change the grid position though. But in terms of a kind of grid generation based on performance, on type, and on all that, and skill, that is one of the best functionalities of that I've ever seen. Obviously, assuming it works. So that's really cool. All right, let's do it. Let's race. And we'll see what the graphics are doing on medium with 16 cars on the grid. I will let you know, Chris, how performance is in this race. Normally in the dry it's not so bad, but with rain it's pretty bad. What I'll do is, actually, I'll bump up the graphics. So if we go to, let's just try Ultra, right? Let's just see what happens. My PC specs should be in the description below. They are pretty strong. But if I go Ultra preset, let's just see, with 16 cars in the dry, oh no, it's crashing. Give me a second. Looks like the game's about to crash. Open mode is available, Matty, but open mode, it depends on what you think open mode means. Open mode is not open world. Open mode is what I'm doing right now. It's a sandbox mode where essentially the game's the same, but instead of having currency and leveling up system and XP and being able to buy cars when you can afford them, open mode just means that you can buy any cars at any moment, add them to your garage, and it takes away any of the progression-based stuff. So it's essentially like, either I want to treat this as a hardcore sim where I'm just driving the car I want to drive, or I treat it as like a progression-based experience, which is what career mode side of the menu's for. So unfortunately, yeah, if you thought open mode was going to be open world, then yeah, should have been a bit clearer in terms of the way it was advertised. Right, let's race. Ultra graphics with all these cars in the dry. Let's see. See if the Alpha brake lasts a lap. That's the other question. Okay, so straight away, performance poor off the line. I don't think we've got an FPS counter up right now, but it's bad. AI very easy to overtake. I mean, they're wobbling around like, what is that? They're braking on a straight. Okay, so before... Okay. 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 AI still needs work. This is why AC Evo is a great hot lapping sim. We're gonna try once more, right? We're gonna give benefit of the doubt. I mean, what was that? There was actually, do you know what's interesting as well? In the trailer that was released recently, oh, I'm in 4th gear. In the trailer that was released recently, you saw some weird AI behavior from the Alpine at Suzuka, I think it was, and they just left it in the trailer, and I thought, oh, it was a bit strange, but it was like, I mean, look, they're braking. Bear in mind, this is AI on 100%, 90 to 100% difficulty. What was that on the off the start? Performance is still pretty poor on Ultra with the AI cars, but it settles once you get off the line. We've got a little radar, which is good. Okay, this time, oh, yeah, Alfa in front of me has just lost it for absolutely no reason. Now, performance issues are back. I'm lagging. Alfa, by the way, Julia in 2 corners feels excellent. Absolutely excellent. Right, what's happening here? So again, this is 90% to 100% difficulty, guys. I'm up to 2nd, and I've almost crashed. Apparently I'm 3rd, actually, not 2nd. Yeah, nice speed taken. Good stuff. It's so frustrating. Yes, it's early access, but I'm not gonna have a good fun race against AI in this game. I just can't have it yet. Oh, I forgot to change layouts. Sorry, we're doing national again, but oh, and it's an Alfa Romeo. My gearbox is gone. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It came back. Come on. So that is definitely a mechanical thing. So that's me ruining the gearbox that's causing that. Because look, it comes into gear eventually. So I think that's actually meant to happen. Reminder, I'm not using an actual clutch. I'm using auto clutch, so it shouldn't really. But anyway, enough of that. I'm done with AI racing. Great custom grid feature. Love that. But there's no point racing the AI yet. It's useless. Actually, one thing else that's new, we've got some new replay tools, so let's investigate. So, this used to just be a scroll bar with a play button and a pause button. Now, we have speed, we have jump forward 5 seconds, jump back 5 seconds. I'm guessing that is restart. Don't know what that is. Reverse. Oh, yeah, okay, that's rewind. Reverse, rewind. Oh, good point, Tom. I was so distracted. I was so distracted by the fact that the AI was pants. I didn't even notice that there was no MX-5s. Yeah. Okay, great feature, broken. Doesn't work yet. Cool. Forward or reverse. You can jump forward 5 seconds. That's absolutely fine. No problem with that. You can make that HUD disappear, I think, by scrolling down. That's good. Performance, not great. I'll turn that back down the graphics. So no major performance improvements on my side anyway. Look at that horrible jumping there. This is playback speed, and it goes in increments of 1, and then it goes down to, you can do slow-mo as well. There you go, ultra slow-mo. So just the usual kind of basic replay functionality. You've got change of vehicle, but no kind of tab, nothing to say what vehicle you're following or a driver name. So it's just vehicle, so you've got to kind of work out which one's you. And then I'm guessing you can still change the views and stuff using the appropriate buttons. There's me braking my gearbox. So you've still got like F1, F2, F3 for changing camera views. Okay. So yes, replay tools added. Cool. That's something. That's something. Right. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like, I know it's just offline AI racing, but when you don't have multiplayer racing yet, it's annoying to not have, you know, usable AI. And I completely agree. It's early access. This is about giving feedback to the devs. It's not about enjoying the game yet. It's not about having fun. It's not about having a good experience. It's about giving feedback. That's all it's about, right? And having a bit of fun offline. There was a little bit of sarcasm there, just so you know, but also partially sarcasm, partially truth. Right, so race events are broken, AI's still broken, the custom grid's really cool but broken. Should we go back to practice sessions and try out new content? Okay. I can try different cars. It is a new car. Let's come back to that in a minute once I've driven something normal first. Let's go investigate Circuit of the Americas, and we will try one more AI race with different cars in a little bit. So we've got the national layout of Circuit of the Americas, which is I believe that's the NASCAR layout that they used in the NASCAR Sprint Cup, which was a crazy race. With a actually, it's not exactly the NASCAR layout, is it? Oh, no, I think it is. And then we've got the GP layout. So let's do the full GP layout so you guys can see the full circuit. Let's go with, should we try the race car? The Maserati GT2, 19.9 performance points, and we've got some funky designs on there as well, and the presentation livery. The presentation livery is much nicer, even though I love the green. It's just badly executed. You've got GT2 SRO configuration, so that'll bring it in line, I would have thought, with the existing Mercedes. Let's confirm that then. Add to garage, and then I'm going to go into customize, and we'll see if there is anything that can be done here. So again, you guys can't really see this, so let me just quickly go full screen. Yeah, to be fair, Stormer Joe, I think you're right. I think it may have actually changed to automatic grid, to be fair. So I wonder if that changed the AI level. We'll go and investigate that further. But it shouldn't do that. It shouldn't change without you knowing about it. It's just something that AC Evo has done that in the past, hasn't it? There's not really much, by the way, in terms of customization here. Just a few bits and pieces. AC Evo's done this in the past, where it's we do have OEM colors. Nice. Ooh. Purple satin metallic. Let's go with that. Yeah, where like you set settings, or you choose a track, for instance, and then you actually go to drive, and it's like defaulted back to something else. So it might have been like, I'm again giving it huge benefit of the doubt. Right click drag. Thank you. That's what I needed. I knew there was a way of doing it. Yeah, like it could be. I'll try it again later, because it could be that the settings jumped back to default AI settings and automatic grid. It got rid of the AI difficulty level, so maybe that's why they weren't very fast and everything. But it still was horrible regardless, and it shouldn't do that. Right. Let's try this then. Yeah, Martin, it is mostly a content drop anyway. I think that was always what it was going to be mostly, but then obviously a chance for them to fix things. And there are some new features, but not much. And some of the new stuff clearly isn't making a big difference at this stage, or any difference. Right. Let's see what the Maserati feels like. So I actually quite like the GT2 Merc in this game. It feels a little bit like a GT2 should, which is brutal and then a bit lazy and cumbersome under brakes. And it's like, I think a GT2 car feels like a slightly drunk and overweight GT3 car. It feels like a GT3 car that, you know, instead that it's basically given up the diet, it's let itself go, it's been to the pub a few too many times. We're 3 months down the line, and it's retired. Maybe let's say like a footballer that retired 6 months ago. That's a GT2 car to a GT3 car. So it does feel like that on AC Evo. But overall, I'm not the biggest fan of the racing cars compared to the road cars. Like, for me, the racing cars felt better on ACC. Let's see what this Maserati's all about. Have I got sound on? Yes, I do. Okay. And Circuit of the Americas. Also, frame rate's pretty low, so on ultra settings I am struggling. So let's instantly change that. So performance is, considering this beefy PC, again specs are in the description below, I should probably be able to run pretty high graphics with no one on track, but apparently not. So let's bump that back down to medium. For anyone who came into the stream asking the question, is this a game changer? No, it's not. This update is not a game changer. Okay. Nice sound on the liftoff of the Maserati. Good sound in general, to be fair. You get that little flutter. So here, listen. Oh, yeah. The liftoff flutter. Excellent. Sounds good. Feels good so far, to be honest. Circuit of the Americas. Looking resplendent. That's too deep. Big surface changes visually. Interesting to see. It'd be cool to see a comparison between that and like ACC to see how much the surfaces have changed, for instance. I've got the force feedback effects on the active pedal for this, and I can actually feel when the ABS is kicking in really nicely. I get a little vibration. Or is it when the car's locking up? I think it's ABS. I don't remember what settings I've got, but it feels really good. But this car's feeling great so far. Feels planted. I mean, I love the look of this thing. I'm absolutely in love with Maserati's more recent designs. Like the MC20 is just absolute perfection in my eyes. It's so pretty. Total goals, that car. And I'm not a good driver when it comes to Circuit of the Americas, so apologies if I'm all over the place, but obviously learning it in this new car as well. But yeah, it feels planted. When you put the foot down, it's got a bit of wiggle to it. I don't think it feels so far as oh, that's understeer. I was about to say it doesn't feel as lazy as the Mercedes, but then I missed the corner. It just feels slightly more like, it feels slightly better set up than the Mercedes. It feels a little bit less point and squirt, a little bit less leery, and a little bit more planted and consistent. And again, I've done one lap, so let's not judge it too harsh, good or bad, but Circuit of the Americas is looking good. I think the elevation drop there after T1 doesn't feel quite as steep as it maybe does in other games, but curbs look good. As I say, the surface changes are pretty strong. I don't really know what I'm doing around here. And also, I'm so used to driving GT3s that when you jump into GT2, you just have that bit more speed, but then you have a bit less downforce, so you just need to like turn everything down by 10%. There, just been delaying on the throttle a little bit. Let's see how it looks from the outside, see how it looks and sounds. Well, actually, this view makes it feel a bit more like ACC. Obviously, for those of you who have noticed, I obviously on streams and stuff run with the steering wheel on. That is just so that you guys could see the amount of input I'm putting in. If I'm actually racing on my own, I would tend to go with this view, for instance, but when I'm doing videos or streaming, I'll put the steering wheel on. Let's have a look. Look and a listen. Love it. So far, so good on the Maserati. Big good on the Honda NSX. Also, I want to drive the Giulia again because that felt amazing, and I was obviously very preoccupied with how bad the AI was that I didn't even get to really talk about the Giulia, but it felt so good on those few corners that I drove, especially through like Old Hairpin. Proper vintage touring car sliding stuff. Short shift around here. Don't know exactly where I'm meant to be going. Yeah, that is for the, this should be members only content, this, shouldn't it? Right. No helmet cam like AC, yeah. That's one thing I do like about ACC, that kind of helmet camera. We'll check the damage. Yeah, not yet. Do you mean when you talk about locking up very easily, do you mean like with ABS on, or do you mean the cars with ABS off? Because obviously you can still lock up with ABS on, right? So it'd be interesting to see what you think, what you mean by that. Abel? Nice parking. Actually, probably didn't lose too much time there. Cool. That's the Maserati. We've got lots to get through, guys, so I'm going to keep rattling through. I don't want to... I would love to just sit and spend more laps analysing everything, but just want to show you everything and let you guys have a go for yourselves with the good stuff as well. Yeah, with the ABS on, it does seem to... I mean, that one didn't lock up. That one was okay, but you're right in that the cars generally can lock up easily, but of course you can turn the ABS up in the setup. By default in AC Evo, they're quite low, the ABS settings. So that's worth bearing in mind. Okay, let's... Yeah, I think you might be right. 2025 feels ambitious. Fall 20... I mean, that's creeping up, isn't it? There's a lot to still improve. What else we got? What else is new? The Exige V6 Cup. The MX5. And the Porsche. Oh, I'm excited for the Porsche, so let's save that. We'll do that in a minute. Let's drive the Exige V6, because that's a really cool car. Now here you've got options. We've got the two-tone LED exterior. You've got the V6 Cup Black Edition, same performance as the base level one. Let me get rid of my face so you guys can see this more clearly. And we also have the V6 Cup Lotus Motorsport Upgrade 16.3. Now that is going to be a beast. So basically, I'm gonna try that one. Let's be greedy. Interesting to see what the options are in the other one. So in this one, the kind of motorsport package, which is obviously quicker. What have we got? We've got obviously body color. Oh, lots of OEM options. Cool. No complaints there. We've got stitch carbon options. What was the button I needed to look at the interior again? Is it scene options? Someone told me this last time. How do you look at the interior? Help! Help! Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's just like the V6 Cup writing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll go red. Why not? Steering wheel, carbon side skirts. Okay. So, oh, yeah, look. Lotus steering wheel or the Sparko steering wheel. That's wicked. So you do have... So the Lotus, it looks like, then has a lot more customization options. I now want to go back to the exterior. How do I do it? What's the button again? Am I missing something really obvious? Last time, it was so obvious what I had to click to get back to the exterior view. Oh, you're right, tabs. It should be green. Yeah, we'll not play around too much, but you can see there are customization options here. So that's cool. Where have they gone? Cancel? Oh, there it is. Yeah, British Racing green. Lotus colours. Definitely that one. Alright. Or is it this one? No, it's that one. Doesn't matter. Let's leave that for now. But lots of customization options. Cool. Again, lose a bit of patience with all that. It's very cool, but it's not so cool when there's other things that are needing a lot more work. What track are we going to drive around? Let's try the we'll try the national layout of Circuit of the Americas. Just to show you guys what the layout looks like, and then I can drop this forsaken place, so I don't need to. I never touch Circuit of the Americas ever again until I'm forced into an online race and I have to do it. Do you think, also, hello, do you think that with the new mod support, AC Evo will have, again, compatibility with automation? Ooh, tricky. It needs to be, it all depends, I guess, on the relationship between the developers and the publishers as to whether or not that could happen. It sounds amazing, it'd be very, very cool, but I don't think that doesn't, to me, sound like a link that would happen. But I would love to be proven wrong. They have actually brought forward mod support for this game. You can read about that on the Traxion website, but they want to bring in mod support a bit earlier. Oh, this is a gearbox. It's not sequential. It's H pattern. Excellent. Now, is it like the... It's the NSX, so it's... Oh, no. Okay, you do have to lift. Okay. Supercar tires. So we should have a bit more grip than the NSX, for instance. Exige V6 means it's, what, mid-engined? Powerful. We've got traction control and ABS on by default, so let's, as always, turn the traction control off. And we've got the national layout now. And we're not in a race car, so we're going to have to be a little bit more user-friendly with this Lotus. But, I mean, still got quite a lot of grip. We'll do the NASCAR line through this corner. Apparently it's legal. Oh, weird chicane. Whoa. Okay. Kind of like that, actually. Yes. Okay. So, as is entirely predictable, I like the Exige V6 Cup immediately. It's a sports car. It's perfectly complements the AC Evo physics and handling and force feedback system. Doesn't complement my terrible gear shifting. But it sounds great. Looks good. Yeah. Great car. Love it. Happy. Front left is crying. Too early on the power. It's much harder to kind of slide around. Obviously, the supercar tires far more grippy than the likes of the vintage tires on the NSX. So it's a very different beast to drive, and it's much more like you have to be a lot more what's the word? Boring with it. You can't chuck it around. You can't really use the rear to throw the car around in the same way. You've got to drive it a little more sensibly, but I mean that's realistic. Even with traction control off. Oh, I hate that corner with single screen. Oh, I'm so bad. I hate not having a clutch, honestly. I really want to get a clutch on this setup because I miss my clutch when I'm using the H pattern. So that layout is going to be something to get used to. So this is actually, this chicane is not... Oh, that's a great little sequence. Love that. It's going to be all about track limits though, and then we've lost the gears again. I'm dying. Okay, so I actually prefer the national layout, I think, of Circuit of the Americas. It does not want to go into gear. To the full layout, but it's not. There's not a huge amount in it, but I don't mind that. It's just taking ages. I think I've damaged the gearbox now. It's taking way longer to change gear. But cool. What shifter? I'm actually using... Yeah, it's taking ages. I'm using the Fanatec Club Sport shifter, which I really like, and you can switch between sequential and H-pattern modes. But right now, because I've damaged this gearbox, I'm having to wait longer for it to actually go into gear on the way up, and every time I miss shift, it's getting worse. So that's something, now that they've added in that gearbox damage, if you're using auto clutch and H patterns and stuff and you're not using paddles, you're going to have to manage that better than I'm doing right now, but that's something you learn, and I don't mind that. Okay. V6 Cup, everyone. Don't mind that at all. Good fun little car. Now I've lost all gears. Even with the clutch fully in on auto clutch, I now can't get into gear. So yeah, maybe I need to map a clutch button. You're right. I am wondering, Neil. I am wondering, is that just me breaking the gearbox because I'm not using the clutch, or is it the auto clutch function not working properly? Because it seems very easy for me to break it at the moment. Just putting that out there. I'm not omitting blame. It's probably me. But I've got nothing to compare it to. So I might actually be being a bit unfair on myself, and it might actually just be that the auto clutch functionality is not really working properly at the moment. But let's not hold that against it unless we know. Okay, let's yeah, I was blaming the Alfa, Daniel. I don't even think I over rev tabs. I don't think it was revving. I think it was putting it into gear and accelerating again before the gear was in. But obviously with an auto clutch, normally with a clutch, it's a manual process. So when the gear's in, you know it's in. Older cars take a bit longer, but that's to do with the throw, to do with the gearbox, and all these kind of things. So yeah, not sure. TBC. Let's try one more time with the AI. We'll stick to this circuit. We'll see how they race. Let's see if they're... So we'll do custom grid. Right, let's try this again. So let's cue the music. Can we clear the grid? Oh, we probably can't clear it, but we can probably just make a new one. So let's go like 14 to 18. So we've got a bigger range of performance. All of the different vehicles allowed. I'm guessing white means it's selected, right? Yeah, white is off for single make. Off, yeah. Cool. So white means it's selected, so that's not a problem. Yeah, that's the thing, Modi. I don't actually know if the clutch is engaging. It should be, because it's auto clutch. And it does when you leave the line. So when I drive away from the line in first gear, you can see in the HUD on the bottom right, the clutch is sliding in and out. So it's actually working. It's not doing it when I'm changing gear up to speed, which is interesting. So opponent skill 92 to 100. We'll go 15 opponents again. So it's not even, we're not even going crazy. We're like keeping it in the middle, not going insane. Opponent skill, that's a totally reasonable request. Let's generate that. We should have an eclectic mix. There you go. Alfa, Lotus, BMW, Camaro. Excellent. Right, apply. It's applied. Back. We have a custom grid. However, it's now highlighted automatic. So, test. I didn't click that. You saw that. I literally came straight out of custom. Now if I go... I can't click apply because it's already there. If I now jump into a race... It says here, 15 opponents, 92 to 100%. That's all fine. But I reckon it's going to be all Lotus. Or is it going to be the grid that we set there? So it should be an Alfa Giulia on pole. I think it was a Lotus P2. And I can't remember the rest. But there were lots of cars. There's a BMW there as well. Yeah. I think that looks about right. Interesting. Let's try. We'll see if the gearbox works better as well. So you can see the clutch there engages on the bottom right. And as I lift and then change gear, the clutch doesn't engage. Interesting. So we know the opponent's skill spread is 92 to 100, so they should be competitive. And the behavior's on safe. We're on medium graphics now, so you can see the performance has been a bit better, but still not perfect. Okay, AI behaving weirdly through there, but it's lap 1. Very slow into there. Okay, it's slightly better than Donington so far, but not perfect, obviously. They're very slow through there. Hello? No. Excuse me. There's another Lotus. We'll see how long the gearbox lasts. Ooh! It didn't blip. Bear in mind, I've also got auto blip turned on, don't I? Ugh. Okay. Didn't treat me like I was there. But that might have been my fault for a rejoin, if I was being extra polite. But it's definitely that's a trait I've noticed as well, where the AI just treat you like you're not really there. That felt a bit too easy. Okay, so this is slightly improved on Donington, let's say. But I'm still up quite a lot of positions already. So the speed levels haven't really improved, that's for sure. We saw no patch notes about that, obviously, either. And interestingly as well, there is like an AI behavior tab. But the AI behavior tab can't be changed yet, so they're all on, like, was it safe behavior? Which might be affecting how they drive. Not wanting to get, but then saying that, they're in safe mode, and then they still kind of crash into you if you're in the wrong position. Now it's settled a bit, it's slightly better. Being very careful with the gear changes. Big lifts. We'll get rid of traction control, we don't want traction control. Which way will I go? Nope. Kind of predictable. They're very slow in the apex. That was terrible. Alright. We're still... I mean, we're 5th, so... This is a little bit more representative of what I've experienced in some of the... It's honestly... I mean, it's obviously not great. The behaviour's still weird, and the speed's a bit weird, but it's a little bit more representative of the kind of better side of the AI racing that I've had so far. Donington was definitely a representative of the worst side. Nope. Oh no. It's happening again. The fact is, like, with the gear shifting problem, I have no problem with, like, mechanical gearbox damage when you select it. I have no problem with that sort of stuff, if that's what it is. But I do have a problem with, you know, I'm wanting to do manual gears. I don't have a clutch, so I've selected automatic clutch and I've selected automatic blipping. So with that, you would think it would let me use a manual shifter, but it wouldn't really. It would, you know, it should still function as an H pattern just without the clutch, you know. So it shouldn't really be braking on me, in my opinion, as easily as it seems to be. Yeah. You just gotta wait a bit longer. Actually having a bit of a battle with this Camaro. It's not a pretty battle, but it's a battle. Nope, no gear. The delay is just getting longer, so it's definitely doing damage. Alright, let's not get too hung up on that, because we've covered it now. You know, you guys know what's happening. Trying to be a bit more... That's a NASCAR line. I was trying to be a bit more aggressive with the track limits now that I didn't have an AI in front of me, but we definitely saw the issue with that. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Yeah, it was in safe, that's it. The guy driving the car isn't even wearing gloves, and here I am in my sim rig wearing gloves. Like, it's brilliant. I love it. Love it. We take it seriously. No, honestly, guys, with gloves, obviously I've got an Alcantara wheel, but the thing is for me, I was doing a rally recently on Richard Burns' rally, and I did rallying. I just did 1 day of rallying, and it wasn't a day. It was like maybe 2-3 hours of rallying, and I had blisters on the inside of my hand. My skin was ruined for like 2 weeks, and that was with gloves. So my horribly sensitive skin needs gloves, and even with gloves, it's not good. We're getting questions about whether VR's improved. From what you guys have said in the comments, it doesn't sound like it has. Or, well, it obviously it's meant to have. We've had some comments saying the VR is worse, but I'm not going to... Obviously, that's just a comment. That's someone's experience. In the same way that this is just my experience. You're going to have to listen to a few different opinions from different people. Hopefully, someone is covering the VR side of things. Unfortunately, I can't today. But let's fingers crossed it has actually improved for the majority of us. Although the early signs from other people doesn't sound perfect on that front. So, yeah. Yeah, this automatic custom thing resetting is a bit weird. So let's just like go for... Let's just... I'm going to test something here. EV only. EV only. Any performance. So we're just getting a bunch of electric vehicles. Oh, no, but no. Hang on. Heritages. Deselect. Oh, you can't. Okay. Modern and then deselect. So you have to select one of them. So modern EV on the road. There you go. So Alfa Romeo Juniors and Alfa and Alpines. That makes a lot of sense, right? So there's your custom grid. We'll bang that up to like 26. Okay. Generate the grid. I'm just doing some experimenting here to see if the system works or if it's a bit broken. So 26 AI cars, and they're Alpines and Alfa Romeos. So apply. Okay, so go back, and now, so again, so that's fine. That's just it says automatic. Obviously, it's custom, right? So then if I go back, I can't apply, so it's already applied. If I go back and then click start session, let's see if that's worked. And if not, what I want to do is the same thing again, but click automatic again after, and then see if it changes it. Heritage EV, yeah. Interestingly, Cameron, I was thinking about the i8 recently, and there's still such an energy about that car and those type of cars where it still feels like that's like they're trying to get them in. Like, oh, you know, I still view the i8 as like a, come on guys, like try this. This could be the future. Like, come on, try it. And then when I stop and think about it, I'm like, hang on a minute. The i8 is how old now? Like, the i8 is like a decade old. So like, it's almost now a vintage car, but yet it still feels like it's trying to get to a place where people will start using it. Like, it's had its cycle now. Like, it clearly wasn't. I think it's a very cool car, the i8, by the way. But it clearly is mad to think in my head that I still feel like they're trying to, you know, get people on board. And then actually, well, that car's now 10 years old. It's a historic. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But you're right. I actually love the i8, personally. I think it looks awesome. And it's different. And you're right. It is definitely, like, it is definitely setting the template for BMWs. Okay, are we against EVs? Yes, we are. Okay, so that worked. So it seems like it was just Donington that was broken. Great. 2016, yeah, so it is. It's 9 years old. The G-Wiz! Remember the G-Wiz? I'd forgotten about the G-Wiz. That's a proper machine. Right, if I click automatic, nothing changed in terms of... So I just clicked the button automatic. You wouldn't have heard this, sorry, because I had it muted, but it did a noise to suggest that I'd clicked that button. So now, nothing else has changed, but it should now be an automatic grid. And if it's an automatic grid, as you see by the highlights, it says, grid of AI opponents of which the cars are similar to yours in type and performance index. So, by clicking automatic now, if this is working properly, I should now be racing against similar cars to mine, not the Alpine and the Alfa Romeo. Let's see. Yes, Cameron. Beam NG. I think there's car football on Beam NG. Have you heard of a game called Rocket League? There's a few people playing Rocket League. It's going to catch on at some point, I reckon. Get in there early. A bit different. Not quite Premier League football. Okay, that worked. Look, BMWs. Oh, no, it didn't work. I thought it worked. So I clicked automatic and it's locked on custom still. So it's just not very well. It's not working. Let's be honest. Come on, change gear. There we go. That is all EVs. Alfa Romeo and Alpine. Actually, no, it's just all Alfa Romeo. So it has changed. Like, all Alfa Romeo. Oh, and I was giving this feature so much credit. I was like, guys, this is the coolest implementation of custom grids I've ever seen. Looks great. It clearly does work sometimes, but, I mean, yeah. So the automatic button didn't do what it said. It wasn't clear that it worked, but it did work, and it didn't do what it said. It changed it to just against Alfa Romeos that are not... They might be similar performance index, but I don't think they are. If it worked, it would be great. That's AC Evo. Yeah, you're right. It does, honestly, this game does sometimes work all the time. It's just frustrating, isn't it? I love Kunos. I love what they've done in the past. I love the way they handle things in general. Like, I love... There's so many things about Kunos and about Assetto Corsa as a franchise that I really like and I'm really on board with. And there's lots of great individuals. And it's just really surprising and frustrating that this is so messy. And I don't know if it's just because video game development's so complex these days. But this is like a big title with a lot of promise, with so many great games before it. And... it's just got a long way to go. It's like, it feels like there's another year in the oven. It honestly does. Right, we need to get on with this, guys. I don't want to keep you for too long. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little dive into the new content. We've still got a few cars to try, so I'm going to try them. I'd love to drive the Giulia to make me feel better again, because it was amazing, so we will do that at the end. But I need to drive the Porsche 911, because I am really excited to drive that car. And we've still got to drive the MX5 as well, so we'll do a couple of laps. We'll just keep it brief. Let's go the Porsche. Yes. You've got... okay, this is the 6... So this is the 964 Turbo Power Package, whereas this is the standard car, so that's 964 Turbo. Now, I think the difference you can see the performance index difference. I reckon if this is how they talked about the upgrade package in real life, the 964 Turbo should have around 355 horsepower. The 964 Turbo power package should have about 380. That's what I think is the case. We'll go for the contrast interior. Looks great though, and I'm very excited. This is, again, I've banged on about it. This is going to be AC Evo at its best, and I expect this to be good fun. But we'll obviously see. We'll hold judgment. You can change the body color, so you've got loads of OEM colors. We can go for the kind of blue. We can do the Sally. Oh, that's not Sally. There we go. Seat piping in contrast color. Don't mind if I do. There you go. So that's black. That's kind of beige. Hey, subtle changes. Change the leather color. Ooh. There you go. All horrible. Excellent. Alloys, power package, and the front splitter. So this is the okay. So this is where the power package comes in. Can I please go back to the exterior? Please. There you go. Yeah. So the splitter. Okay, so yeah, you can see it there. So maybe there is extra power as well. That's the power package. So that, I think, it takes it from 360 to 380 as a guess. So that changes nothing visually. And then the front splitter, look, boop, a little bit more downforce. And it looks better. So let's go with that. All right, let's do it. We will do the MX5. Don't worry. I will drive every car before we end today. What track should we drive this Porsche around? Should we go Imola? We've done Donington, and it's great. Imola sounds fun. Porsche around Imola, yes please. Let's not do a race. I'm so angry at races right now. And you can see, like, again, automatic clutch on start, all that. So we should be grand. I don't want to set it to auto gearbox, like, it's just, no. I could set a button for a clutch. I know that was suggested at one point, but that begins to get a little bit problematic because naturally I'm not used to that. So I think that'll cause me more pain than joy. So let's just let's just give it a go and see how it goes. And we can always I can always unassign the H pattern and just only assign the sequential, and that might work. Okay. Sounds great. Road tires, not vintage tires. Interesting. So the 1992 NSX is on vintage tires. The 1993 Porsche is on road tires. That is interesting, in my nerdy opinion. Sounds great. What a surprise. Now it should, if it handles like a Porsche, I'm going to be very happy. Yep, turbo. It handles like a Porsche. Look, I spun already. I'm happy. Big, lazy pendulum, especially think about it this way, an early 90s Porsche 911 turbo, 3.6 litre engine, on road tyres from the early 90s. It should be an absolute pain in the butt when you push too hard out of a corner, and that's exactly what I was just doing. So you're going to have to treat it with respect, be a bit more patient with the throttle. So we're going to try that. You can see the chassis wobble on the way into the corner. No stability whatsoever. We've got the turbo lag. So this is where Ayrton's technique, if you were with us for the start of the stream, thank you, first of all. Also, you can see Ayrton's kind of like jabbing on the throttle technique. Now, I am not going to do that. But with this turbo, that jabbing just to get the turbo spooling up and basically make it come in quicker. Oh, into mineral water. Sideways. Yeah. Thanks, Cameron. I am a 90s 911. It's alright, you know, it's like, the gearbox doesn't sound like it's having any issues. I'm getting it in gear pretty quick. I wonder if I could flat shift. Oh, okay, this car flat shifts, so this is like the NSX. It lets me change gear on the way up without lifting, which means that the gearbox is not going to break, I think. Because it's basically a clutchless upshift, and a blip on the downshift anyway, so... Yeah, so I'm not using the clutch, and look. Perfect, so that's like the NSX, so don't need to worry about the engine, the gearbox going. Right, a couple more laps. Too early on the brakes. Way too early on the brakes. But don't trust the downforce. It doesn't feel as like it doesn't feel as pointy as the NSX, which isn't surprising. It feels obviously more. You can feel the weight more on the rear. Again, absolutely not surprising because it's just physics. It doesn't feel as alive as the NSX, but it also, I don't think it feels quite as. I think the tires are better. I think the road tires are better than the vintage tires. What a surprise! I'm surprised that the tires are different, honestly, because they're two sports cars from a year apart. You would think, and performance variants of them, you would think they would have the same tires. The feet cam is me just pretending to press a clutch that isn't there. You don't want that. You really don't want that. Send it in sideways. Big lazy slide. Okay, I'm feeling better again, AC Evo. I'm not going to apologise for being annoyed, because I'm annoyed. But it's like, you know, you're making me laugh again. I'm still in a grump with you, but you're funny. Wish the game would stop flirting with me and let me be annoyed at it for more than one day. No, you really don't want to see it. Oh! I need to see it. Sorry. Hang on, no way. No way is Henry Catchpole released an NSX-R video half an hour ago talking about loafers. That is insane. I am a big fan of Henry Catchpole videos. Right, one more push lap and let's have a bit of fun. Not going for lap time, we'll just go for a bit of sliding. Hey Tony, how's it going? Nice to see you back on the stream again. We've got a video about WRC games and Codemasters and all that stuff coming tomorrow, so you should definitely subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss it. You'll enjoy it, Tony. I'm just gonna go over what's actually factual and happening in that situation, what we know about what's coming and what's been, and we've spoken to a few parties involved as well. So yeah, you want to keep an eye out on that. If you're interested at all in rally games and Codemasters in the future of the WRC series, then yeah, you're going to want to watch tomorrow's traction video. It's interesting, isn't it? So the three cars, as part of this update, that have never been in a Assetto Corsa title before, are this Porsche, the Honda NSX, and what's the other one? I've forgotten. The Alfa Romeo 75, right? They've not been in Assetto Corsa. The others have all been in AC or ACC. And they're really good, all three of them. Different reasons, but big fan of the NSX, big fan of this Porsche, and some people will hate it. Looks stunning, doesn't it? So skatey under braking. We've driven 14 kilometers. Right, there we go. Hey. Oh, Jan. Hey, how's it going? One of our Mr. RBRs. You would know about driving on gravel. Yeah, it honestly doesn't feel like driving on gravel. It is just the nature of this Porsche. Honestly, and I was deliberately sliding it there. If you've just tuned in, so the previous laps I was driving it like 1% more sensible, and that time I was going -5%. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. That was great fun. Big fan of that. 2 more cars to try, guys. 1 more new car to try, and then I'm going to jump back in the Alfa so I can actually give it some justice, because I think it's going to be hugely fun. So, MX5, I mean, it's going to be slow, but I'll tell you how it feels compared to real MX5 race cars. Yes, we've got the facelift, and then we've got the Unus RS Limited version with a bit more performance. So there you go. I'm just, as you can see, I'm just driving the fastest versions of each car. It's kind of inevitable, isn't it? And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to talk about from this update. We've covered the we've covered the replay tools, the open and career mode sections we covered right near the start of the stream, so go back and watch that if you're wondering what career and open are all about. We're covering all the content. There are other things. I'll check in a second just to see if there's anything I want to talk about that I've forgotten about. There you go. Look at the different parts available for this. Different suspension options. Hey, look at that. That's kind of cool. What if I don't want either of them? Anyway, it's fine. Can you change the engine? Loads and... Oh, you guys can't see this. Of course. Always forget. There's an MX5 1.5 litre RS engine, but I can't see any other options. So it's just one engine option at the time, but I can imagine engine swap options. Let's just drive it and see what happens. So lots of customization for this. So that's going to be fun for you guys who like looking into the kind of tuning of the cars and stuff, and the kind of different parts that can be downloaded or upgraded to, I should say. Then it's going to be a good one. Let's drive it around Brands Hatch. Hey, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back. Hope we're having a good day. Yeah, I agree, Martin. Definite potential. Hey, new draft animations. Brackets Morgan. Hello. Mixed. Some really good new cars. Tracks, as you'd expect. Great. Like, good versions of the circuits. They look good. They feel good. I am not an expert. Like, I'm not someone who can analyze every single detail of grass fidelity and tell you whether it's better instantly than ACC or these things. With these kind of things, I tend to focus on the driving feel and the cars and the game itself. But the tracks look and drive great, and they feel realistic. Donington felt like I was there. The bumps all feel good, but it's kind of inevitable nowadays, especially when you know the quality of tracks within a game. You know that every new track is going to be of that standard. So happy. Cars are great. Some are more exciting than others, but they all feel good so far. This is the last new one I need to try. I've got a bit of a gearbox issue going on, but enjoying them. Oh god, right, this is one of those where we've got to just be big lifts, and there's no clutch. No auto clutch seems to be working, so I'll change to sequential for the Giulia just to make sure we don't blow it up straight away. So, Mazda MX5 around Brands Hatch, something I have experienced a few times. So, if we do MX5-y things, we'll see if it works. I've got an H-shifter. This is the weird thing. I don't have a clutch pedal right now. The pedals I'm using, I do not have a clutch set up, but that is the problem. Oh, it's the GP layout. I thought I'd got Indy. What I'm going to do is just change that right now, because the gearbox thing is annoying me too much. I can't really try the cars properly if I'm breaking down within a lap. So let's just go sequential for now. I don't know if that's an issue with the game. Let's just clear all the H-pattern stuff. I don't know if it's an issue or if it's me that's the issue, or I'm doing something wrong. But I genuinely believe that if you're using auto clutch, it should show an auto blipping. It should show the clutch in action on the HUD like it does at the start, and it shouldn't be like breaking the gearbox that quickly, right? I know I'm going around in circles, but something's not very friendly, put it that way. because I'm being careful with the shifts and it's still not going well. So this now, okay, we're back. We are back. Okay. Right. Everything other than the H pattern, we're going to just get a feel for this MX-5. Do a couple of laps. And then we will jump back in the Giulia for hopefully a fun little final blaster in Donington National. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Let me know as well what you've thought of what you've seen so far, if you've been here for the stream. Let me know opinions. Let me know if you're going to be trying it, what your thoughts are overall on AC Evo. I know that's going to be a long comment to leave in a live stream, but I'd like to hear your general, like, you know, let's say this. Let me know, out of 10, where you feel this game is at the moment. Like, how satisfied are you with AC Evo out of 10? Hey, thank you so much for subscribing. Sorry, I can't drive and celebrate at the same time. That's much appreciated. Edmson, go and watch my race at Donington about an hour ago, and you'll see how good the AI is at the moment. It's not any better than it was, which wasn't very good. Like, in terms of AC Evo, for me, out of 10 at the moment, I'm giving, like, the AI a 3. Road car driving, 8 or 9. Graphics, like, 7? 7 or 8. Features, 3. Maybe 4. That's probably, yeah, 3. Race car driving, 6. What else is there? Sounds, 8. Tracks, 8, 9. Nothing wrong with them at all. There's lots of things that are just really, really good about this still. Nothing's a 10 yet, but it's very hard for anything to be a 10. Hey, Pedro. I agree, Daniele. Yeah. We're still a hot lapping sim. That's what I've been saying. I don't think that's changed. So you're sideways, but that's okay. You've got so much time to catch it in an MX-5. I was in the wrong gear. It's all about momentum in these cars, so you just need to, like, carry the speed in, get on the throttle. That's a bollard. You want to get on the throttle as early as possible, and just its highest minimum speed is how you go fast in an MX-5. And get the rotation and the balance. It's very important. That bollard hit was very weird though. But yeah, so MX-5 Mark 1, again, completely unsurprisingly, instantly it feels really good. I'm in tune with it. I can definitely improve my driving with it for sure, but it handles like naturally to me like an MX-5 should. Especially a road-going one on road tyres, and a Mark 1 specifically. The way MX-5s work, which is really interesting, Mark 1s and Mark 2s feel pretty similar. I'm the biggest fan of a Mark 2 of all the MX-5s. The Mark 3 feels more like a purposely built sports car. It feels stiffer, it's got different handling characteristics, it's got power steering. There's certain things about Mark 3 that feels a lot more sophisticated, but just less fun. I honestly didn't like racing the Mark 3 MX-5s nearly as much as I liked the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. And the Mark 4 is more like the Mark 3. It's like a development of the Mark. So it's really nice that now we've got the Mark 4 in the game. Now we've got this Mark 1. It's like we've got one of each type of MX-5, I would say. So the Mark 2 and the Mark 3 are the Mark 1 and the Mark 4. That's absolutely fine as combos. And this is more fun to drive than the Mark 4. But the Mark 4 in this game is obviously the racing version. So again, that's another car that's kind of repurposed from Assetto Corsa, like this one is. That was terrible. So they're very different. One's got slicks, you know, sequential gearbox. This thing's obviously a low-powered road car. There is a difference. Anyway. Jan asks, in which aspect is Evo actually better than AC? And I don't know if that's... I'm guessing that's like a rhetorical question, Jan, because you're not sure there are any aspects, or maybe you're just asking me for my opinion. I'm not sure. We'll drive one more car. I think that compared to baseline vanilla Assetto Corsa, it looks better. I prefer the feeling of the handling, the force feedback. It doesn't go much further yet. Doesn't go much further. The sounds, definitely the sounds. And then obviously if you compare it to modded AC with all of the community stuff, that changes things, of course. But that's not the vanilla game. That's a modded version of the game. So that opens a whole can of worms about, you know, fair comparisons and the state of racing games in general, and the ability for people to mod them, and you know, all these things. Obviously, you're one of the legends, I would say, Jan, of Richard Burns Rally. So if anyone here enjoys playing Richard Burns Rally and modded versions of Richard Burns Rally, give Jan a shout out in the chat, and maybe watch our video, the full story of Richard Burns Rally, because you get a little bit of an insight into why that game is so good, and also a lot of the work that's gone on behind the scenes to make it what it is today and make it the best rally sim of all time. So yeah, shout out to you, Jan. But yeah, that's my opinion. Right, let's end this off then with a quick blast in the Julia Sprint around Donington. Based on my little rant earlier with the AI, the driving in this car is awesome, and it's going to be sliding it. It's going to be proper vintage touring car stuff, and that's what we want. We should probably do Donington GP because we've not done a single lap on that, and it is a new track, so let's end with that. There you go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this anyway. Leave me a like if you found it useful, informative, and you've enjoyed the chat in any way, even if I've talked absolute rubbish. You don't have to leave a like if I've talked rubbish, but leave a like if you found it in any way enjoyable, because it helps us out. And yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little insight, and let me know as well if you're going to be picking this game up. Sorry, not if you're going to be picking this game up. If you're going to be trying this update, that's what I should say. Right, let's do it. Cheers, Martin. No driver assists. Great sounds. Red line at 8,700 RPM. Yes. Vintage tires. Cross ply, let's do it. Too early. Slightly. Lock up because we've got no ABS. Too early. I'll do better next time, I promise. Yeah, I get too excited with cars like this. You just want to instantly get to the limit of where the grip is. These are the kind of cars that you see sliding around in the Goodwood Revival. Oh dear, lock up. No fancy LSD. Sounds good, doesn't it? First time looking at the hairpin, so this is obviously the GP layout of Donington, another new circuit to the game, but not new to any kind of hardcore sim racing fans that have been playing previous titles like ACC. Obviously Donington's on iRacing, it's on everything, other than like LMU of course. It's on AMS2, that's a lockup. Oh dear, okay. Okay. Just remember, all these other cars have lured me into being comfortable with ABS on, and then I need to remember that this is actually a proper old vintage touring car, GT car, whatever you want to call it, with no ABS. So let's sort that out. Cortina, yes, that's what we need. Okay, let's try and actually drive this thing properly. We'll do a couple of laps, see if we can get some respectful lap times, and then we'll leave it. Too early again, but I've taken out the bollard, so it's okay. I think third through old hairpin's probably okay. If I can get on the power at the right moment. Again, momentum is key. Four-wheel sliding is key. Up into McLean's. We could do third through here, I think. That's too late, but we'll get away with it. Horrible in terms of lap time. I think second up through Coppice. Is that Coppice? Yeah, this versus like Cortina, Mini Cooper. There's a few cars from this era that I think would make like an epic class, and online racing would just be absolutely epic. We're almost to matching gloves now as well. Me and the my old avatar. First gear here, maybe? Don't know whether to go first or second through there. Right, don't lock up this time, John. Brake at the curb. We'll go first. No, second. It's so tricky between the two, but we'll go second. Right. 156.3. Pretty slow, but I'm having fun. Too wide. Ah, track limits. No! Turning it a little bit later through. That's better. It's too light. Oh, I'm just trying to like get absolutely everything out of it, track limits wise, and it's just like, no, not that much. It knows that I'm trying too hard. That's the problem. The car's like, yeah, you're trying to slide me and get everything perfect, and you think it's so easy. Well, here you go. Let's just dump a load of understeer on you, and it's exactly as it should be, to be honest. Because these things are not easy to. They're quite easy to slide if you're driving at like 95. If you're really good and you're going to try and be fast, then they begin to bite you big time. Interesting, so you think it sounds way off. I need to go back and... Oh, that's too much. Too late. No, it's fine. So this thing, yeah, I need to go back and listen to what the Giulia... I mean, that's over 8,000 there, look. Yeah, 8,400. Right, 3/10 up going into the hairpin. Let's try second gear. No first gear, and we're 4/10, 5/10. I think it might be second gear. One more lap. And that'll do us. That was invalid anyway. Right, we want to try and see if we can get like a low 55. That's the target. A legitimate low 55. Maybe a 54 if I'm very lucky. That's better. Definitely lost a little bit of time by being too sideways and not using enough of the exit curve, but it was better. Good sounds. As I say, I'm not sure about the engine note. It sounds good to me, but if you think it's not realistic, I would have to go back and do some comparisons, but it sounds good anyway. Like, I don't know if it's real, but I'm enjoying the sounds. I'm enjoying the curb sounds and all the kind of ambient sounds, as well as the engine note. Alright, come on. We're on for maybe a 54 if I get the rest of this lap right. Come on! Don't know where I'm braking. Big lockup. Let's go aggressive. Track limits. No, it's legal. It's legal. We're good. Thought I was going to lose it there, I'll be honest. Probably could do first, honestly. Last corner, definitely second. I just need to avoid a lockup. Such a horrible corner, this one. Too late on the power. There we go. 54 at least. 54.8. There we are. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do subscribe to the channel if you want to see more AC Evo streams in future, but unfortunately, the game being at the way it is, where you wait for months for a major update, that's even a delayed update, and yes, you get very cool content, but there's still such a long way to go with the actual game itself. We need to see things like open world. We need to see some form of career come through that we know is coming. And listen, I'm impatient. I totally acknowledge that it is just going to take time, and that's fine. But because we're getting drip-fed these updates, you kind of just, you you want them to be taking the game forward in a big way, and at the moment, like, there's certain things that just aren't really doing that for me. Like, there are problems that are remaining. There's still performance issues. You know, the AI is still pretty rubbish, let's be honest. The custom grids are really cool, but they're not working properly. They only sometimes work. And there's no multiplayer, there's no career, there's no open world. These mode changes have been implemented, so we've now got open and career, but they don't mean anything yet. They're just setting the foundations for what's to come. We all want to see what's to come. Modding is also to come as well. So much happening, but it's just not there yet. Martin says it, yeah. For me, it's crawling forward. Yes, I absolutely loved what I just did there. Driving the Alfa Romeo around Donington Park, sliding it around, having loads of fun. It's great. Lamborghini last time was amazing too. The NSX-R around Suzuka, phenomenal. Great stuff. And the Porsche around Imola, again. Perfect. Love it. But that's it. That little slither of the game where you're taking a road car, especially rear-wheel drive, chucking it around. Beautiful. Now give us the rest of it. Like, you know, give us more progress on the rest of it. And I know for a fact, like, I can sit here and say, give us more. I know for a fact they're going to be working on this flat out all the time, and it is early access. So you've got to, like, remember that they want it to be really good too. So this is not people just downing tools and not making progress. Everyone involved in making this game wants it to be great, and we all want it to be great. And I will love this game if they can match up the features and some of the problems with the good stuff. And I think they will. But I just think it feels like we're still a long way away. And until this game gets to a point where it feels like fundamental things are really changing beyond just content, for us, at least at Traction, for me on the video side on YouTube, it's going to remain this game that we jump in, try, talk about like this, and then wait. Because it's not a game where I feel like I'm going to enjoy jumping on every day at the moment and trying new things, because it's so limited on that front. So yeah, it's the way it is. And you're so right, Luca. Like, obviously, if these things were easy, they would happen, right? And we've seen experienced great game developers over the years that have been known for doing phenomenal things in the past, taking a long, long time to do something nowadays that's maybe only slightly better. But it's all relative, because we're all obviously, in a modern time, we've got higher expectation. There's better graphics. There are more detail to these games. So it is hard, and I'm not a game developer in any way. So that's why I'm kind of being very clear that I'm sure that the team behind this game and all the other racing titles are working super hard to make it this as good as possible. And like, we all have to appreciate that. And obviously, once this game gets to version 1.0, then I can be a little bit more kind of overall judgmental. Until then, it's kind of frustratingly tickling along with some good stuff. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for me playing AC Evo until something else happens, let's be honest. Unless something comes as a surprise. So yeah. But hey, Martin, if in 3 years' time, if this game is great and it was only €30, it's going to be worth it. But obviously, the investment is spread out, right? And I don't think, by the time we get to version 1.0, they've been very clear to say, it said it when you launched the game, that there will be no paid DLC, or that you will, every car will be available for free for version 1.0. So there shouldn't be any paid content before the launch, which is something that's definitely good. But yeah, it's down to as well your opinions on early access, right? Like, would you rather not have this whole process and the pain right now and just have a complete game dropped on you with open world, with career, and you're getting to experience all these amazing things whilst also being happy about the game around it? That, to me, sounds like a better thing. But then maybe there's 3 years more development, or 2 years more development, whatever it is. Obviously, we're expecting this game in fall 2025. So if it's really that good by then, great, but I'm a bit worried about that. Are the developers making enough money? Because they're not selling the game until you buy it. So put it in early access, we get to test it, give feedback, they make some money, which maybe allows them to create the game easier. I don't know the financial situations with any of these early access titles, so it's very much a sweeping statement. But yeah, it's just the way of the world at the moment, unfortunately. And I just think that it's not the best, because I want this game to be great, and I think it will be great. And I think I would have rather not had all of this pain that's giving me like trauma to when it actually launches. I'm going to already have this, I'm probably going to already feel somewhat fed up, because that's how I feel at the moment with the AI and stuff. And I think at the moment, when it launches, even if it's really, really good, there's this history there. Whereas if it had just launched and I hadn't experienced all of this, and then I'm trying these things for the first time, I'm going, wow, this is incredible. That was a massive ramble, but there you go. that's my my brain juice spilled to all of you. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Be sure to keep an eye on the channel for the Codemasters video tomorrow. There will be more streaming and videos next week. We've got plenty of exciting stuff coming up for you guys. So stay tuned, subscribe, leave us a like. You're very welcome, Tabs. Thanks for all the support on the comments, as always. It's hugely appreciated. Cheers, Jan. Much appreciated. Very kind. And of course, as always, keep an eye on the TraxionGG website for all of the latest news about racing games, such as AC Evo and all other racing games as well. We try and cover news, reviews, guides, features, everything you could think of. So do keep an eye on the Traxion channel, on the Traxion website for all of that. And you can also join our Discord channel as well. Link is in the description below, so you can join in the discussion, get involved in our podcasts, leave us questions, and yeah, all sorts of stuff. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you again soon. Bye.